Hi there guys, so as we know, Anthony Joshua soundly beat Andy Ruiz Jr. in their rematch. But what comes with that glory is mandatories. Obviously, the WBO have called their mandatory in Alexander Usyk, who will have to have his opportunity in 180 days. Now also the IBF have called their mandatory, Kubrat Pulev, and Anthony Joshua doesn't have as long to deal with that as he does for Alexander Usyk. So that means the IBF mandatory will come first, meaning Alexander Usyk will either have to wait or the WBO belt will become vacant. Now, Anthony Joshua has previously explained he doesn't want to fragment the belts, he wants to become undisputed. He doesn't want to let the belts go off to other challengers because he wants to make sure that he makes that undisputed fight with Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, whoever holds the belt at the time Anthony Joshua is ready to face them, because obviously Joshua has to deal with his mandatories first. Otherwise, the belts will go in different directions. So for that undisputed fight to remain a possibility, Anthony Joshua must get his mandatories out of the way first. Kubrat Pulev first and then Alexander Usyk. Now obviously there is a possibility that Anthony Joshua can fight them both and maintain his status as WBO and IBF world champion. We hope that is the case. Obviously Kubrat Pulev will come first and then Alexander Usyk. So ultimately Anthony Joshua could fight 3 times next year. If Alexander Usyk is made after the Kubrat Pulev fight, then obviously later on, back end of the year, there could be the big one between Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, depending on who wins that fight, because Bob Arum has stated that the 22nd of February date in 2020 is set in stone for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. So that will definitely go ahead, which is interesting in its own, because obviously they have waited to see the result between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr. to make that a concrete date. Maybe they were thinking, if Andy Ruiz Jr. wins, then Deontay Wilder can go straight into an undisputed fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. Perhaps that's what they were thinking, or maybe even hoping. So at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua has won his belts back. So ultimately that fight isn't going to be made. I think the only way we're going to see undisputed is if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder. And luckily enough, I think that Tyson Fury will beat Deontay Wilder. So at the end of the year, we could have a huge, epic heavyweight showdown between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury at Wembley Stadium for all of the belts, winner takes all in the heavyweight division. Now obviously this is provided Anthony Joshua does come through his mandatories, and we don't want to start that thing again where Anthony Joshua is overlooking opponents to the next opponent. Obviously he didn't really overlook Andy Ruiz Jr., but everyone was asking about Deontay Wilder, everyone was asking about Tyson Fury, and ultimately maybe that led to part of Anthony Joshua's downfall in the first Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. So this time maybe we should just focus on Kubrat Pulev, then Alexander Usyk, and then Deontay Wilder, because if Anthony Joshua does not come through those fights, then it puts undisputed out of the picture once again. Now, personally, I believe Anthony Joshua, even at 80%, beats Kubrat Pulev quite soundly. Alexander Usyk is going to be a tougher task, but still, I believe Anthony Joshua will beat him. I just think that Anthony Joshua's power, his size, will be too much for Usyk. Anthony Joshua at just under 17 stone is going to be very hard to beat, I think. I think that's important for Anthony Joshua to remain at that weight, because I believe at 17 stone and a half, maybe even 18 stone, he's too heavy and I think he gasses. Whereas he didn't show no signs of gassing in the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. He didn't slow down, his feet didn't slow down from the first round to the 12th. Now obviously, that's not all about his weight, that's also because Anthony Joshua was controlling everything and he wasn't expending all that much energy because he wasn't nervous, he wasn't worried, because he dictated everything about the fight. I said in the build-up, Andy Ruiz Jr. only gets the amount of success that Anthony Joshua allows him, and Anthony Joshua did not allow him any success. Obviously, Andy Ruiz Jr. did get a few shots away, but that was only when Anthony Joshua decided to hold his feet and trade with Ruiz. Other than that, Ruiz couldn't do anything with Anthony Joshua. And that is where the skill and boxing finesse came in from Anthony Joshua. And I believe the same will apply with Alexander Usyk. Usyk will try and put on the pressure. I don't think he possesses enough power to hurt Anthony Joshua or even back him up. So maybe even in that fight, Anthony Joshua will take centre ring. And Usyk, I mean, he can box anyway. He can box on the front foot and on the back foot. He can hold his feet. But I just don't think that he's going to be able to deal with Anthony Joshua. I just think Joshua will be too physically imposing. And if Joshua boxes him, keeps him on the end of a jab, and hits him hard and often, then Usyk is going to really struggle with Anthony Joshua. So I believe Anthony Joshua will come through his mandatories, but I just think that we should focus on them instead of the undisputed fight. Obviously, we all want to see Anthony Joshua be undisputed, and I think it will happen, especially if he fights Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury is going to be a tougher fight. But hopefully in the back end of 2020, we will get that undisputed fight, because Anthony Joshua has some mandatories to deal with, and I think he will get them out the way within the first 8 months of next year. especially if he wants to maintain his status as IBF and WBO world champion. And he has stated that is what he wants, so he has that opportunity to become undisputed. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? The IBF have called them mandatory. Anthony Joshua has sent out a tweet saying, let's get undisputed as trending, because that's what he wants, that's what everyone wants, and that is what he is here to do. He came here to take over, not to take part. That is what Anthony Joshua has recently tweeted. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.